Theodore, Graham, and Orson were in shock. Despite being grandmasters, they could sense death were closing in on them. It was even more terrifying than when they faced Michael. "Die!" Abigail yelled. She unleashed the deadly energy. As if the Phoenix had received a command, it emitted a piercing cry and transformed into a streak of black light. It hurtled toward the crowd. "Run!" Scared out of their wits, the three grandmasters immediately turned to flee. Their instinct had told them to run. Before their disciples could react, the Phoenix had killed them. The Phoenix showed no mercy. Everything that came into contact with it vaporized and vanished into thin air. Even Ronald and Dustin were forced to separate from their fierce fight. They had to run for their lives. After tearing through the area, the Phoenix exploded with a thunderous roar. It transformed into a powerful hurricane and destroyed half of the forest. The nearby birds were startled and flew in panic. Once things settled down, a long, deep, lifeless ravine stretched out before them. That was where the Black Phoenix had went through. Meanwhile, of the hundreds of martial artists present earlier, only half remained. They were left shivering on the ground, afraid. The Phoenix's power was truly astonishing. "Die! I want all of you to die!" Abigail screamed in rage and grief, her eyes red. Her white hair danced in the air. She resembled someone who had gone astray. All of a sudden, her body trembled. She spat out a mouthful of blood and collapsed on the ground. Her earlier attack had drained all of her energy. She was now at the mercy of others. Abigail could barely hang on. "Abigail!" Azalea, who was disheveled, immediately got up and ran over to Abigail. After making sure that Abigail was still alive, she finally breathed a sigh of relief. As expected, she was the daughter of the Grand Sorceress, after all. Now that her seal was broken, her true abilities had been completely awakened. As long as Abigail could pull this through, she would undergo a powerful revival. That power was way too terrifying. "Demon! She's a demon!" Looking at the wreckage around them, everyone was in shock and fear. They never thought someone as delicate as Abigail could unleash such terrifying energy. That was so close. "I almost died." Graham swallowed hard. If he had suffered the blow head-on earlier, even as a grandmother, he would have been vaporized on the spot. Who is she exactly? Theodore frowned as a cold shiver ran down his spine. While he was relieved to have survived the attack, he was even more consumed by fear and caution. "We have to get rid of the demon, lest she bring calamity upon the people," Orson said coldly. His once compassionate eyes were now tinged with killing intent. "That's right. Her power is too terrifying. If we don't kill her today, we won't be able to live peacefully in times ahead." Graham added,